Chapter 13. Collecting the Pieces. Midterm exams were just around the corner as November drew to a close. The castle had been swallowed by snow, forcing our care of magical creatures lesson indoors. Normally, I had little enthusiasm for the subject, but today I welcomed the distraction. It was one of the few classes where failure wasn't an immediate threat. Not that I was the one buckling under the weight of academic pressure. That distinction belonged solely to Nina. One didn't need sight to notice the strain in her posture, or how her usual melodic hum soured into irritated sighs. The tension bled into her voice, pointed and relentless.
How in Merlin's name am I supposed to survive OWLs if I'm already drowning in coursework?
She groaned for the second time that afternoon.
At Beaubaton, professors actually helped with assignments. What is this ridiculous teaching method where they just sit at their desks, wait for us to throw something into our cauldrons that explodes, and then stomp over to bark at us?
She had a point. Professor Sharp's teaching style was far from nurturing, and I had collected more than a few humiliating memories in his class. Still, begrudgingly, I had to admit that his tutoring had sharpened my perception skills. That didn't mean I had to like him.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be the one helping you with this,
Sebastian declared.
Why don't you ask Anne?
Nina snorted.
I did! She lasted half an hour before she lost patience. I can be very annoying when I'm disappointed in myself.
A heavy sigh escaped her, and I heard the faint swish of Sebastian's hand patting the top of her head. I hated when he did that. I can help you with potions, I offered, hoping rather unreasonably that his fingers had left her hair.
You?
Sebastian asked, his disbelief gnawing at my patience.
Yes, me,
I shot back.
Between the two of us, I have the better chance of passing the exam.
I felt his glare. He was undoubtedly recalling that one incident in second year when I had knocked over every single ingredient bottle in my desperate attempt to summon one. I prayed he wouldn't bring it up. To my relief, he kept his mouth shut.
At your own risk,
Nina said, though her voice softened.
But that would be really nice of you. Thank you, Ominous.
She still sounded frustrated, but there was an undeniable tinge of anticipation woven into her words. It pleased me more than it should have. The day's exhaustion settled in as we descended toward the common room, Nina's yawns coming closer together with each step. When we entered, I noticed our footsteps were muffled by the carpet near the sitting area. Instead of the usual cheerful chatter, we were greeted by a heavy silence, broken only by the rustle of pages and the low murmur of students brooding over their books. Apparently, Professor Black's speech that morning about expecting the emerald stones in our house point jar to multiply after exam week had made its mark.
Merlin,
Nina muttered flatly, tossing her bag on the nearest couch before flopping onto it herself.
Oh, come on.
Sebastian scoffed, immediately claiming the space beside her.
Who cares what Professor Pinhead thinks? Slytherin has enough overachievers, Anne included. No need to pressure yourself.
I heard a dull thud, followed by fabric brushing against fabric. Sebastian's hand, no doubt, making contact with Nina's back in one of his signature gestures of reassurance.
I'm personally offended that Defense Against the Dark Arts isn't on the exam schedule,
Nina said as I took the cushions next to Sebastian.
And frankly, I find it hard to believe that Black has a wife. What sort of witch would voluntarily marry that man?
A chuckle escaped me before I could stop it. Sebastian's sharp inhale told me he was about to deliver one of his cocky remarks.
On the bright side, that means there's hope for the rest of us,
He said merrily, nudging me with his elbow.
Although, I must say, I'm relieved that girls aren't allowed in our dormitory.
I huffed.
My side of the dormitory is always spotless.
I remarked, struggling to keep my voice casual.
Yours, on the other hand, if I didn't know better, I'd say a troll rummaged through it.
Sebastian let out an exaggerated gasp.
All right, Mr. Fastidious.
I was about to retort, but Nina's laugh broke through my irritation. Bright and genuine, curling around me like warmth in winter.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you two were already married.
She teased, earning a hush from someone who would have been well advised to retreat into the library.
Tss.
Sebastian clicked his tongue, unimpressed but unmistakably amused. Nina's laughter lingered in the air, and unable to resist, I joined in.